You're watching Power Nation.
What you building?
Big blue Ford,
What are you gonna call it?
Leadfoot.
Where'd you get that from?
It just came to me.
What you putting in it?
460.
I've got a 490.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool too.
Thanks.
All right then.
Today is finally the day that Leadfoot gets to leave this shop. Now, it was inspired largely by the original monster truck, Bigfoot. Now, we're gonna get into that a little bit later, but before we do, let's take a look at where this thing started. Honestly, this thing made it in here quite a bit easier than I thought it would. I mean, it just walked right up the entrance hill. It made it up to the staging area just fine. I mean, honestly, for what is essentially a bone stock truck, I'm pretty impressed so far.
This is Willie's off-road park. The facility has a huge variety of different kinds of obstacles, so it makes for a really great proving ground for not just stock trucks, but our fully built ones too.
What are your plans for this thing?
Just a good old school 4x4. I mean, if it's gonna be off-road based, I think we need to have a baseline of just classic 4x4, which I think is the perfect fit for this thing. Because, I mean, it's old school Fords, you can't beat them. On top of adding this big block under the hood, we mentioned wanting to make sure that this was as old school as possible, just kind of get back to the roots of American 4x4. I think style-wise, we can't go wrong with throwing a big chrome triple double roll bar in the bed. Go ahead and take this fuel tank out, put a fuel cell in the bed for safety.
Then when it comes to the suspension department, we are going to be running with a 6-inch lift, 35-inch tires, and they are going to be chunky. While we were out there, we wanted to test 3 specific things. 1, how'd it do on the trail? General climbing and all that good stuff. 2, how'd we do in the mud? That didn't go as we planned. And 3, just getting sideways and having some fun.
See if she'll cut through here. And bump. There it is.
Snap it around, snap it around!
Oh.
You can't drive through that.
No, let's not. Let's be smart about this. All right, back up. Well, that was a good one. She does not like trying to do donuts. That's fine though. She'll get there.
Woo-hoo! We're gonna drive this home, don't forget.
True.
Snap it around, snap it around, snap it around. We need more real estate.
Yeah, we need more room, and she needs better tire.
Or substantially more power.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh no, that's it. That's it, that's it, that's it.
Ha! Well, better match. Here comes the fun part. Oh, hello, floor.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chris, I'd say that's probably it.
Well, you got her stuck. Go get the cable.
Ah, man.
Start walking. Once we got this back into the shop, we decided to start tearing into this, and boy, were we surprised at the amount of work that we had to do. Coming up.
While Chris was getting everything on the truck side prepped, I was over here getting our transmission ready to be installed to our engine.
I did have to make a custom exhaust for this project.
We've got quite a few adjustments we're gonna have to make here. And with that, Leadfoot is complete. When it comes to safety, style, and all the small parts we needed to actually put all these things together and turn this truck into what it is today, we've got our friends over at Summit Racing to thank for that. I mean, really, the lift kit, the wheels, the core support, radiator. I could go on all day about all the parts that we got from them, but I'll just sum it up and say that this truck wouldn't have been possible without their help. And an extra special thanks to Knoxville Driveline for the set of custom drive shafts we got that's gonna push this thing down the trail.
Next up, I'm gonna work in biggest patch to smallest. So now I'm gonna bend on this line here.
We had to make fully custom engine mounts, making sure that we had enough clearance for the oil filter and the headers.
How far over do we have to go?
Where it's sitting now is where it needs to be.
Okay.
I mean, you scratch the paint off the bell housing, but
Ah, man, we gotta start over.
Now that we have the front part of the motor mounts built, fabricated, welded in their forever home, we're gonna move to the back. That motor, it's pushing out 600 plus horsepower, okay? The torque that that's gonna create is going to twist everything. But what I think I'm really gonna do is go off the bottom of this K-member here. It's wide, it's super strong, and it's gonna be more than enough beef for what we need.
fortunately, the design of the rear engine mount was pretty straightforward, so I just cut it out and installed it.
I think what I'm gonna do is just bend it just slightly below the joint itself.
Once the rear mounts were put in place, I tacked all the pieces to ensure proper fitment, then got ready to burn it all in.
And while Chris was getting everything on the truck side prepped, I was over here getting our transmission ready to be installed to our engine. Normally, this is a pretty straightforward process, but as you can probably guess, this isn't exactly a factory combination, taking a 385 series big block and mating it to a Tremec TR4050. Since the engine and transmission were already put together, they went in at the same time, and the way we had it set up ended up working perfectly. I'm gonna start dropping the tail end. The next major part of this truck I wanted to start on was the interior. In there, we decided to get started with a custom dash, trying to recreate something similar to a square body gauge cluster with some custom gauges from Summit Racing.
While Eric was sorting out the electrical and the interior, I tackled the cross member for the transfer case. Once we got all of that sorted out, we were able to marry the chassis to the cab on the truck.
We also want to say thank you to Behemoth Drivetrain for sending us the shift linkage that's going to help us put this 205 to work. Success!
Once the doghouse and trans tunnel were all sorted out, I tackled the seats that Eric picked up from Simpson Racing. We paired these with a set of 5-point harnesses.
I went with the set of Hedman headers that we also got from Summit Racing, which ended up pointing us in the right direction right off the hop.
These headers got us started off very well, but I did have to make a custom exhaust for this project.
We've got quite a few adjustments we're gonna have to make here. Oh, we're gonna have to shim it. What'd you do with those shims?
I don't know. It has been so long.
This is why we can't have nice things, Chris. One of the last things we're gonna do before we actually roll this thing out of here is we're gonna go ahead and do an oil change because we wanna make sure that the oil that's in there is nice, fresh, and clean, so we're not gonna have anything to worry about out on the trail. And the oil we're using is gonna be this Schaefer's 10W30. What we're running here is Schaefer's Supreme 7000 Synthetic Plus Racing Oil. This stuff is made and formulated for high-performance engines like our 460 in Leadfoot. This oil offers superior film strength, excellent resistance to thermal breakdown, and it's got friction modifiers to help protect all your internal components so that you don't have to worry about any wear, scuffing, or abrasion. And with that, Leadfoot is complete. Before Leadfoot hits the trails, we've got Bigfoot coming up next. The original monster truck is here, and we're gonna talk to the legendary driver Dan Runte, who used it to jump over a 727.
Our Nation Under the Hood is brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment.
It ain't too often a truck comes along and changes the game, but it's even more rare that it comes along and creates its own. Man, that is a lot of truck. Dan, how's it going?
Good, Eric. How are you?
Good. It is an honor and a privilege to have you both in here. I mean, I think this might count as more than one vehicle at this point.
It's a lot of memories.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. I mean, there wouldn't be a monster truck world without Bigfoot.
Bigfoot and Bob Chandler, absolutely.
We're at the 50th anniversary this year,
Yes,
right?
we are. Yes, we are. We're gonna have a big year. Got a lot of new paint jobs out there, running the different circuits, so it's pretty exciting for us too.
A lot of different paint jobs, but not this one.
No.
So you keep this one
Yes.
original.
Yes, we do. And there's argument about whether this one needs to be painted or not, or whether we should leave it the way it is. I mean,
The way it looks now, that's the way that it should look.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
This is what everybody expects. You think of Bigfoot, this is the truck.
Right.
You know? I mean, you can't change that. No,
Well,
that's got to stay.
It's a neat piece, definitely a neat piece.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with talking about this thing. I mean, there is just so much of everything to talk about. I guess we'll just start at the back and just see how this thing is
It works
built,
for
how
me.
it's put together.
Absolutely. A lot of it itself is like old 5-ton military stuff. Housing, the housings, transfer case. That's where they started back then. I mean, it was a truck for Bob to promote his business when he first built it. And as he promoted it and it got bigger and his foot got heavier, hence the name Bigfoot, they had to build bigger parts, put bigger parts on it, and they used what was available at the time.
So this truck really, it was more of a snowball than anything.
It was a shop truck. Bob had a 4-wheel drive shop, and this was really a promotion tool when he started, and that's where it all hence came from. Bigger tires, bigger lift kits.
Yeah, I would say at 5.5 feet tall, that's a little bit bigger than stock.
Yeah, the tires are actually fertilizer spreader tires. They use them on the sprayers in the field, and a lot of people ask where those come from, but it's an agricultural tire.
So we've got the truck here. I gotta ask, can I get in it?
Absolutely. I think you should.
Actually, the question really might be can, looking at how tall it is.
Well, you know, that's kind of on you.
Oof. All right, let's see if I can figure this out.
Yeah, it's just kind of a roll cage.
Whoa.
See, you're a pro already. You got this.
So next I get to drive it, right?
Might have to make a phone call for that one.
Wow. This is quite the cockpit in here.
C6 transmission, manual valve body, so it has a ratchet shifter in it, so you don't skip one or you don't shove it in neutral. We've had that happen before too, and it wasn't good. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door.
All
If it's
right.
all right with you.
Oh, wow. I could get it home in here.
Rush hour traffic, babe.
Go by a lot faster in this thing.
But over in the center, there's a yellow thing. If you just pull that out,
Okay, there it is.
and then you can work that rear steering if you want a little.
That's clever though, having it right up here, because I would guess that you guys probably always have the windows down if you're running this thing.
And we did, and the guys that drove back then, Jim Kramer drove for Bob Forever, has got a bad elbow from beating it on the door because he had his head hanging out the window, you know. He's in a lap belt in there just hanging out to see what he could see.
I say this actually looks pretty convenient though, because
It was back
I would
then.
guess that front power steering is probably pretty solid, especially if it's only running the one axle.
Yep.
So yeah, you got full control right here. We know that this thing originally had that 640 in it, but that's not what's under there anymore. So I think it's time we see what's under the hood.
Actually, if you want, we can do that. Right there in front of your rear steering will be the switch that will flip the hood up for us, and we could check that out. Yeah, don't worry, she's old. She makes a little noise,
A little
but
creaky.
it's okay.
But you know what? She still works.
She still works. Old workhorse. 50 years later, buddy.
Opening the hood on Bigfoot might be the coolest thing I've ever done. So, what do we got cooking under here now?
This is actually a big block 490, Ford, of course.
Oh yeah.
871 blower. Couple Holly carburetors. It does pretty decent for this, and a lot of it's in the gear ratio, but
I was gonna say, what kind of power is that thing putting out?
it does right at 650 somewhere in there. I mean, so it's fairly healthy motor.
Yeah, I mean that's a good power level for most things, but I would imagine even that amount of power going to these tires, you would have to have some crazy gearing in there.
There is. I mean, the gearing's knocked way back with the planetaries and what we run in the gear ratios in the rear end. I mean, you're looking at like 573 to 610 somewhere.
Oh wow,
in there.
you're up there.
Yes, just to get it right. Well, the size of the tires, so you
That 490's moving it just fine.
Yeah. For what we're doing with it nowadays, it does an outstanding job. You know, like I said earlier, they had the big 640 in there when we were actually competing it and doing stuff with it. Change with the times. We use it a lot for, you know, just showing it off because of what it is.
This truck has made a lot of things possible that most people probably would have thought there's no way.
Correct. I mean, and it has. It's just, I don't even know the right, I guess, instigated the whole industry, because once more people got involved in it, it just made the whole industry roll faster and harder. You know, 35 years ago when I started, because I'd get to meet the guy that was the Bigfoot guy, and he knew all about Bigfoot. Well, 35 years later and 3 generations, now Grandpa and his son and his grandson are all coming, and it's pretty heartfelt. Still makes us #1.
Coming up, we are back at Wooley's Off-Road Park here in Linville, Tennessee with, believe it or not, the same F-150 that we had here the first time you saw us. We are back at Wooley's Off-Road Park here in Linville, Tennessee with, believe it or not, the same F-150 that we had here the first time you saw us.
She's got everything that we wanted to put in it, more horsepower, more height, more everything.
Yeah.
And I just want to get more trail time.
Well,
so let's go.
Let's get after it. I mean, to say it's a world of difference from what we started with to what we've got now, that really is a little bit of an understatement. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous now.
In all the right ways.
Oh yeah. I mean, the entire goal here was build a truck that's just an old school, all-American 4-wheel drive that has no purpose whatsoever except for being fun. And I mean, the sound of this thing alone should be enough to tell you it's a great time.
Oh yeah. It's not something that you'd want to drive every day, but it's definitely something you want to drive every weekend.
We're just rolling on through here.
And for a trail rig, that's what you want. You don't want to have to sit there and be always in it or on the brakes or whatever.
Right.
You want to be able to have it so it holds itself at a certain point.
Being able to just drop it in that first gear and just crawl down, super nice. First up, doing donuts. This thing just finally has the ass to do it. Boy, does she love it. Let's get rolling. She definitely likes it a little more when you give her some of the beans, you know? Man, this thing sounds amazing. That exhaust you did was just what it needed.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I was going for that NASCAR / World War II fighter pilot sound.
Yeah, just something. Just sounds real nasty.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to see this thing line up next to you. At least not someplace out here. Let's see how this thing feels about us now.
Oh, you can just go up here?
It's Are we gonna be able to cut that?
Yeah. Yo, cut her wide.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, she is just loving it. She doesn't like going slow, but boy, you give her a little. Oh, I went the wrong way.
That breeze is needed.
Oh yeah, it's a little hot out and a lot drier than I was hoping. Actually, I was looking for a little more mud, but I mean, really,
It's coming in.
Yeah, the end of the day where we're at now, I think this thing handled everything great. I
And
mean,
we can't complain.
no, not at all. I
It
mean,
turned out, it worked right out of the box, and I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah, and really no issues at all today.
No,
It was, and the best part I think is the fact that we really didn't do a whole lot of break-in and test drive before we got here. It was really just make it run, make it move, and well, then we decided trial by fire.
it worked. It could have bit us in the
It
butt,
did.
but
It
I
worked
mean,
great.
it worked in spades. So, and I mean, we get to enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is the whole point of it, right? You get once you get done, you have your fun. You want the view.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think safe to say for a first project, nailed it.
See you next time, folks.